Banks. Golden Retriever enters the bank like it's a luxury hotel, tail wagging, basket full of apples. This is Dog's life savings. Dog heard good things. Safe, protected, maybe grow into more apples. Bank lobby smells like seriousness and fake pine. Shiny floor, important suits. Dog paws up to the counter. One savings account, please. Leaves apples with a proud bark. Tails off, happy. Dreams of compound interest and apple interest and interest on his interest. 1 week later, dog returns. Wants to see apples. Maybe got an extra one by now, banker says. Oh, we lent them to a squirrel. Tech startup. Big future. You got 0.01 apple, though. Congrats. Dog confused. Eyes blink slow. Wait, you gave my apples to a squirrel? Banker nods. It's called the economy. Dog not sure what hurts more, the missing apples or the word congrats. Dog always thought the bank just held stuff, like a vault, a fridge. Somewhere apples stay safe. Inside Dog's head, massive underground vault, guarded by Dobermans and sunglasses. Lasers, fingerprint scans, suspense music, reality. One hamster spinning on a wheel, labeled Loan Department. Hamster looks tired. Vault? Just a broom closet with a sticky note that says, Trust us. Dog stares at his receipt. It shows numbers, big ones, but also tiny symbols. 0.01% interest. Dog reads it like a restaurant menu. Waiter never comes. No fries, no extra apple, just vibes. Meanwhile, bank CEO Dog posts vacation pics from yacht. Caption, grinding. Dog starts wondering if safe just means safe for them. Most pups think bank works like a storage room. Put 10 apples in. Wait, take 10 out. Easy math. But no. Bank sees apples and goes full party planner. Sends them to other animals doing mysterious side quests. Dog thinks, so my savings are just running around out there. In squirrel businesses, ferret furniture startups. Bank says yes. Dog's trust issues grow faster than his interest rate, but Dog stays polite. Doesn't bark, doesn't growl, just slowly realizes his apples aren't sleeping. They're networking, traveling, risking their lives in markets Dog doesn't understand. This not a hotel. This not a fridge. This is Vegas. And Dog's the guy who gave the dice to the dealer and said, just make it come back bigger. End of intro. Retriever's eyes narrow. Something feels off. He didn't sign up for squirrel startups. He wanted safety. Maybe one extra apple. Maybe fries. But what he got was hamster economics. Time to dig deeper. Maybe even scratch the surface of the dog bank's biggest secret. The art of multiplying apples with borrowed leaves. So what actually happens to Dog's apples? Not storybook stuff. Not Disney vaults. Once Dog hands over 10 apples, they don't sit politely on a shelf. No. Bank takes them and sends them off like interns on unpaid jobs. 9 apples go out into the world. 1 stays behind for appearances. The 9, gone. Loaned to cats building a juice bar. Ducks flipping pond real estate. Bulldog trying to invent chewable shoes. Dog blinks. Wait, my apples are freelancers now? That's the big game. It's called fractional reserve. Sounds fancy. Smells like trouble. Bank keeps a fraction. Lends the rest. Dog math. 10 apples in. 1 apple kept. 9 apples partying. But here's the kicker. Everyone thinks their full basket is still there. Every single pup. Dog thinks he has 10. Terrier thinks she has 20. Chihuahua thinks he has 50. But there's only one sad apple in the back, praying no one shows up on the same day. Imagine a dog park with 10 tennis balls. But somehow, 100 dogs each have a receipt saying, this one's mine. Every dog wagging, waiting for their turn. Spoiler, there will be blood. Or at least barking, because this works. Until it doesn't. Until every pup wants their toy at the same time. Then, hamster wheel breaks. Meanwhile, banks make leaves. So many leaves. Dog gets 0.01 leaf per apple per year. Maybe. If the stars align. If the moon is in retrograde and no one breathes too hard. But the squirrel who took those apples? He's paying 10 leaves. 10 whole leaves. Dog sees this, tries not to scream. So I give apples. Squirrel pays more. I get crumb? Bank nods. You get security. Dog whispers, I wanted fries. It's like this. Dog brings whole pizza to the party. Bank eats it, charges raccoon for a slice, gives dog back crust, cold, slightly chewed, then thanks him for participating in the financial ecosystem. Dog not sure what ecosystem is. Sounds like a forest where squirrels get rich. But here comes the real nightmare. What if all the animals want their apples back? Now, right now, every breed, every flavor of tail and paw. They show up, barking, drooling, panicking. Bank opens the vault. Inside, one lonely, half-eaten apple. Maybe a sticky note that says, "Be right back." That's called a bank run, not the exercise kind. The panic kind. Dog realizes his money isn't missing. It's moonlighting. And still, Dog is told this is normal. This is how the system works. Dog blinks. So it's a casino? Bank says, no, it's finance. Dog doesn't see the difference. Only thing missing is a roulette wheel and a pigeon in a tuxedo. But fine, Dog won't panic. Yet. He wants to learn, wants to adjust. So how should Dog deal with this circus? How to live in a world where your apples get passed around like party flyers? Dog's about to find out, one paw at a time, because if the bank isn't an apple hotel, maybe it's just an illusion with air conditioning. Dog has seen enough. The vault lies. The interest is crumbs. The hamster looks tired, so Dog, tail still wagging but eyes full of vengeance, decides to take matters into his own paws. No more fancy suits. No more apple-laundering squirrels. It's time for a new bank. Honest, transparent, possibly very bad at math. Introducing Bark Bank. At Bark Bank, rules are simple. You give apples, you get treats. Not interest, not confusion, actual treats. Bacon-flavored, crunchy, delicious. Dog prints flyers using crayon. Slogan: we do not grow your money. We respect it. Also, we eat snacks. Investor cat laughs. Poodle applies for a loan. Squirrel shows up again with the same weird pitch. 10 apples for a startup that makes chewable iPhones. Dog stares, then replies, only if you repay in double apples and 3 belly rubs. That's Bark Bank policy. Bark Bank doesn't pretend. No vaults, no hamster, just a plastic container labeled apple jar and a paw shake contract. Interest? Optional. Honesty? Required. Reality? Still confusing, but at least it smells like peanut butter instead of fraud. Dog feels better already, but while Dog plays CEO, a thought returns. A weird realization buried under all the jokes and loan applications. The banks aren't evil. They just use your apples differently. They rent them out. Multiply them. Sometimes responsibly. Sometimes like it's karaoke night in Las Vegas. But they're not planting trees. They're not growing your apples. They're circulating them, like gossip or fleas. So what's the lesson here? Dog thinks. Tail flicks. Stares at sunset through the window of Bark Bank HQ, which is also Dog's crate. Maybe it's this. If you want apples to grow, don't leave them at the party. Plant some. Water them. Wait. Maybe build a tiny fence so the raccoons stay out. That's the closest thing to wisdom Dog has. Dog closes shop, turns sign to nap mode. As he lies down, one final image flashes across his mind. His apples. Not in a vault. Not in a vault at all. But at a party. Wearing sunglasses. Dancing with leaves. DJ spinning. Squirrel drinking overpriced juice. And Dog just hoping one of them remembers to come home. The end. Or maybe just the beginning. Depends if the apples survive the after party. Either way, Dog's watching now. Sort of. Between naps. And maybe a treat.